How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the Mordekaiser Rework, and I'm so freaking excited. It literally dropped, I think, about 15-20 minutes ago on Riot Games' official website and on their YouTube channel, and I'm really excited to kind of see what way they have actually taken Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser has needed a rework for a very long time. His kit was very steel. Not to mention there's been so many bugs with Mordekaiser's kit that I'm so shocked they haven't been addressed sooner. So I think the best way to address bugs is to just completely rewrite the champion and yeah, just throw him a sneaky little rework. So today we're going to be looking at his abilities, and we're going to watch the video on the official League of Legends YouTube channel and kind of see the thought process which the development team took Mordekaiser, and kind of what way they approached it and the kind of scenarios which they maybe came up against. So anyway, looking at the Mordekaiser abilities right now, we can see that his passive is called Darkness Rise. Darkness Rise. Okay, so again, I haven't seen any of this shit. So, Mordekaiser's basic attacks deal bonus magic damage after 3 spells or attacks against a champion. Darkness Rise deals damage to nearby enemies and gives movement speed until Mordekaiser is out of combat. What? That actually sounds pretty damn cool. That's pretty awesome. Maybe see a little bit of attack speed built in there, because after 3 spells or attacks against a champion, Darkness Rise deals damage to nearby enemies and gives movement speed. That is a really cool kind of change of pace for Mordekaiser. Like one thing I'm always really excited for whenever reworks happen is just seeing what way, one-trick ponies especially to pick up a champion, but seeing what way people can innovate play styles and build paths to kind of coincide and synergize with the new playstyle and the new kit. So I'm excited. So anyway, Q, Obliterate. Mordekaiser slams down his mace, dealing damage in an area or bonus damage to a single enemy. That's just a standard kind of Q ability. Obviously, he's going to be just doing straight up damage with it. And yeah, so it says in an area. So I guess it's still just going to be a little bit of an AoE, which is pretty good. Or if he's just doing a 1v1, which Mordekaiser is pretty damn good at, especially in the top lane, he can potentially shred people if he maybe takes a Leandries or something. So W, Indestructible. I'm going to assume this is going to be some kind of shield. Haven't looked at it. The Evil Overlord absorbs 25%, there we go, of damage taken and damage dealt. Wait, absorbs 25% of damage taken and damage dealt? That's pretty cool. So, even if he's nuking somebody down and he builds full AP, he can press W and get an insane shield. That's pretty sick. Casting once generates a shield with this value. Mordekaiser can cast again to consume 50% of the shield for health. Okay, alright. That's actually pretty damn sick. I was getting strong old school Zion vibes. And yeah, so he can obviously press it. I thought it was actually going to do damage. I thought he was going to absorb it. Absorb damage and then put what he absorbed out there. But he's actually going to heal for it. That's pretty sick. You know, combine that with Gunblade. Oh geez, like this could be pretty damn broken. As everybody's probably going to be saying, looking at this, they're probably going, Mordekaiser's going to be broken. But that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Again, a lot of scope for different builds and a lot of scope for kind of different play styles. So E, Death's Grasp. It's a passive. Mordekaiser gains 25% magic penetration. Okay, it's quite a lot. Active, a deadly claw drags enemies towards him, dealing damage. Alright, so his E is just going to be like Swain. The way Swain kind of has a claw and grabs people. Maybe it'll be a very similar animation. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But that's pretty much what it's going to be. So he's going to probably E people in and then Q them, get a few attacks off, start popping off with his passive, and then use his W to just heal up. Seems to be everybody nowadays just heals with their W. Silas, they need to make sure that they don't overtune his W. I think like Silas was so strong and so overtuned because he could just go to like 10% health, use W, and constantly full heal. It was disgusting. So I think right now, looking at his kit, the only thing I would be afraid of right now is his W. To make sure that it does not like full heal him with some kind of crazy build path. I don't know. So his R. I know for a fact, without even seeing anything, that his R was getting completely changed. And yeah, I think his like soul stealing days are over, where he's going to kind of be able to have a dragon running around, or you know, another kind of champion. I think that's done. So Realm of Death. One thing I really notice here is the abilities, the class. They look really cool, really aesthetically pleasing, and you can kind of tell what the abilities do just by looking at the at like the tooltip, at the little icons themselves. Really, really cool. So, our Mordekaiser banishes a single enemy champion to the death realm, to the shadow realm. He banishes people to the shadow realm, guys, for 7 seconds, 1v1. What? He banishes a single champion enemy to the death realm for a 7-second 1v1, stealing a percentage of their core stats. If he kills his target, he consumes their soul, keeping their partial stats until they respawn. What? What did I just read? What? So when he banishes somebody to the death realm, the shadow realm, is it kind of like Alawi? The way, you know, it goes all woo and you can't really see much and all you see is her tentacles. Maybe whenever it says it banishes them to the death realm for a 7-second 1v1, does it mean that who he banishes, he blinds them, kind of like a Nocturne ult, and they can maybe only see Mordekaiser, like a legit 1v1. He steals a percentage of their core stats, so maybe he steals some of their like AP, their health, and so on. If he kills them in that time, in that 7 seconds, he gets their soul, keeping their stats which he'd stolen until they respawn. This could be insane. This could be actually insane. If you just kill the most fed person on their team, like if they have like a really fed hyper AP or AD carry, and you just steal their stats and you nuke them really, really hard because you're like full AP, you can potentially turn into like a god of death. This could be absolutely insane. Combine this with Yuumi maybe inside you. Whew. Oh my god, this is sick. Right. Let's watch the trailer from Riot. Hopefully get a little bit more info of kind of what it's about. And yeah, hopefully we get to see his ult in action, because I am very intrigued to see what the death realm is. The death realm? Alright. Alright, so this is the video reimagining the Iron Revenant behind the scenes. So let's kind of see the ideas and the thought processes which went into reinventing Mordekaiser and reworking him. Because I really, really want to kind of see maybe potentially his splash art properly, maybe his different skins, and I want to see just generally how his kit and how his abilities play out. So hopefully we see it in this video.
Exists and try to distill what about it do we want to keep.
I think for the players that main him, they still love Mordekaiser, right? Mordekaiser is iconic to the game.
He's like a walking fortress.
Unstoppable
It
wall of
smashes
metal.
people.
It's the fantasy of being this sort of Lord of Death.
From a visual standpoint and the gameplay, I think
One thing I think Mordekaiser mains are definitely going to miss is the ability to have like a dragon, or have have like an extra kind of soul or a person. His ultimate is kind of what made Mordekaiser. Like, you know that whenever there was a Drake up, you wanted to fight for it if they had a Mordekaiser in their team, because they had the ability to get the Drake and to start sieging down mid lane or something like that. So we'll see how this goes.
there's a disconnect. Like, when you see the splash, you kind of think you know what his playstyle is going to be.
And then in game, wait, am I a mage? Do I even use my mace? And so in the VGU, we really wanted to approach, how do we make sure that storyline is clean all the way while keeping at least the feelings and the elements and the things that those old players like about the champion, and bringing them forward.
So when we pick a champion that we're ready to do a VGU on, we assemble a team that's a designer, a writer or narrative, and an artist that we call DNA. The DNA pod sits down and talks about, like, how do we take the old pizza feed Mordekaiser and make him look like a modern champion, but still immediately recognizable as Mordekaiser.
All you need to keep with Mordekaiser is his mace. As long as Mordekaiser has an old school, epic looking mace, that's all you need. That is all you need.
We really wanted to focus on the fact that he is this indomitable warlord who's able to crush his enemies and capture their soul for his own purposes.
This was sort of an earlier stage, just trying to figure out the shape of Mordekaiser, what was the key visual motifs. And that's where we came up with the idea of making it like architecture.
Nice.
We looked at his entire kit very, very closely to see if there's anything we should bring forward, like the ultimate.
Mordekaiser's old ultimate was he would kind of put a debuff on a target, and if the target died while that debuff was on them, then Mordekaiser kind of captured their ghost.
He basically becomes a two-man army at that point. And though that is cool, it doesn't really fit with what somebody with a big mace wants to do.
That's kind of true. Like, I always sort of thought about this with Mordekaiser. He has a huge mace, like a massive mace, and I don't think he uses it. in any of his abilities. His Q, I guess, he kind of goes and hits it. But you would think, like, with him having such a huge weapon, that the core and the ethos of him as a champion would surround the mace. And he would maybe empower it or, strike the ground with it. But he kind of just uses it. He just carries it around like a bunch of shopping bags. He puts it over his shoulder and he's like, yeah. And then he uses his mage-like abilities. That's one thing I really didn't understand with Mordekaiser.
It still takes away from the thing that you want to do with him, which is to dominate people with Mordekaiser, not have Mordekaiser command someone else to dominate.
We did try to bring the ghost forward, and by try I mean we had it in for months and months. And at the end of the day, what we found was that the experience we were creating as a whole was sort of detrimented by having the ghost.
Sick.
So we ultimately decided that
while
it pained us greatly to remove it, that it would be better for the current kit to just not have that brought forward.
Overall, we wanted to deliver on the core of what we believe Mordekaiser to have been all along, which is this Death Archon.
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute.
Case, I think you could
wanted to
wait a minute.
Ultimately decided.
So this is actually showing off the gameplay itself. So we just seen him use his grab, and it looked very, very similar to Swain's grab. This right now is giving me strong vibes of his old E, I think it was, or his W, his old E. I'm not a Mordekaiser main. Don't play the champion a lot. But yeah, I'm assuming this is maybe his passive. W was his shield when we looked at it. E was his pull. Q was his damage. This must be his passive.
That while it pained us greatly to remove it, that it would be better for the current kit to just not have that brought forward.
Oh, that grab looks insane.
We wanted to deliver on the core of what we believe Mordekaiser to have been all along, which is this Death Archon.
That is sick.
In this particular case, I think you could represent Lord of Death anywhere on the kit, but the obvious spot to attack from is the ultimate. So it's with the ultimate that we're like,
maybe that was his W.
Death Archon
is the ultimate. So it's with the ultimate that we're like, how can we create this story in League of Legends in a matter of seconds?
So Mordekaiser's current background, Mordekaiser is interested in seizing the souls of the living to help him build the afterlife that he was denied. So he's constructing his own death realm.
In terms of gameplay, Mordekaiser can choose a victim to bring with him to the death realm, and they are cut off from their teammates completely.
So the death realm.
I knew it. This is what I said. This is what I said. In a 1v1, it'll be very similar to. This is sick. This would be very, very similar to Nocturne. The way all they can see is Mordekaiser, and that's it. In the 1v1.
Just another interaction layer of the game. So I can't see anybody in the Summoner's Rift layer, and no one in the Summoner's Rift layer can see me in the Death Realm layer.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So he actually takes them out of the team fight as well for 7 seconds. So what you could even do is, if you fall behind as Mordekaiser, if you fall behind, you can go, right, what I'm going to run in, I'm going to use my ultimate for 7 seconds. I'm going to take the most overpowered person in the team. I'm worthless. I'm going to take them to the Death Realm for 7 seconds, try and survive. You try and nuke whoever else you're trying to down. That is the ultimate CC. His ultimate is now the ultimate CC. You take somebody to the Shadow Realm, to the Death Realm, and they can't do anything.
So now all of the things about using my teammates, getting knockups or heals or stuns or all that stuff is gone. It's me versus Mordekaiser, Mordekaiser versus me.
That is insane.
Another thing we wanted to keep in mind too is the opponent side of it. We didn't want this spell to just feel like a death sentence. Oh, Mordekaiser casts this on me, I just actually die and there's nothing I can do about it, which is what
it's like playing against Syndra, Veigar, Karthus, Aurelia. The list goes on, guys.
There's still a fight. There's really cool plays of flashing over a wall to get away from him, or if you are really crafty, kind of outsmart him, and having that goal can allow the enemies who get pulled into the death realm to still have a fighting chance against him.
This is really good.
I feel like with the update, this is a great opportunity for us to sort of reintroduce League of Legends players to Mordekaiser.
And for the players out there who really, really like old Mordekaiser, My hope is that we have considered those players as much as we can, and that we have brought forward the best version of the champion that we can deliver to as many players as want to play it, like feeling like they get to be this Death Lord juggernaut.
The Death Realm is so good.
Smashing their opponent, and then the ability with that ultimate to say to your opponent, there is no escape from Mordekaiser.
I'm liking the metal vibes, still rocking with Mordekaiser. And this is his splash art. He looks insane. He looks sick. I'm liking the green and black, just like my logo, guys. But yeah, the Death Realm looks insane. His kit looks pretty damn fresh. They've definitely, in my eyes, done Mordekaiser justice in revamping him, reworking him. I'm really intrigued and shocked at how they kind of took his ultimate and really just completely changed it around. I'm looking forward to potentially playing this myself, as I do with every brand new champion, and hopefully you guys are too. Like, I think Riot have definitely outdone themselves, and we'll know more once we can actually get on the PB and give this a go for ourselves. But yeah, until next time, bros, take it easy, peace out, and good luck on the Rift.
I can hear your laughter coming waves across the shore. Oh, maybe you could fly my kite, babe. Maybe you could fly my kite, babe. I can hear your laughter coming.